this the beginning of a bull rally, or are we just gearing up for another move deep down into the crypto abyss? So let's dive in and let's analyze what's been happening for the past week. So first up, we're going to take a look at the 3-day time frame. I like to look at the 3-day time frame to get a perspective from a macro point of view. Not truly a weekly chart, but it gives me the same type of outlook here. So as we can see here on the 3-day, we've had a nice breakout of this descending resistance that we have been experiencing since back in November timeframe, from our all-time high all the way down until, we found a local bottom that we're looking to rip to the upside from here. So there's been some bullish construction inside of this market, and we can see that over the past couple of days, Bitcoin has really gathered itself on this 200 moving average on the 3-day. And we had several attempts to break below, and we ran into really strong support here. That was a strong support range over the summer. So we can safely assume that this was a retest of that range from the point of breakout. We had a significant run of over 100% just to come right back down and retest just, 6 months later. So, a lot of people don't respect technical analysis, but honestly, in order to be a successful investor, just at baseline, you should understand a little bit about technical analysis, right? So that way you can find opportunities to buy in or add more to your positions. So as we can see here, Bitcoin is still in a bullish posturing, considering that this was a higher high than what our previous all-time high was. Then we also have to come down and take a look at this low here is a higher low than this low here. So textbook, this is still bullish. We're riding on that 200 daily moving average, and it has been, this was the first time that we retested it in this bull market since the breakout back here in 2020 with that COVID dump. That was the last time we saw this line, right? So now we can see that not only did we have the 200 that creeped up here as support, we also had the bottom of this Keltner channel. And we also had several areas of key support and resistance zone flips. So 38,200 has been the line in the sand for this rally. In the previous rally, we had 38,200 act as staunch resistance. So it was obvious that this was going to be a serious point between determining if we were going to continue a bearish play out or if this was going to be a bull move. So as you can see here, we came down here, tested as support, ripped down below, shot back above, consolidate on top of the 200, got back into the Keltner channel. Now we're up here trying to test this middle Keltner channel band. And so now we're still in an interesting situation because, yes, we've had a strong week here. We had, some very nice size green candles, but we also have to realize that we are still in a bearish posturing over the past couple of months. So this retest can easily turn into something similar to here, where we had tested it and then got rejected and then, continued to plummet, about 15 grand from there, or let's say about 30%, just spitballing it. And what we would like to see from here is a break above that middle Keltner channel band and crush this area of resistance and move on towards, a new all-time high. I am weary of this move because of this volume signature is not anything to write home about. It's actually a very small volume compared to previous weeks, right? So the biggest thing for me is that I'm going to be waiting and watching and see how these candles close towards the end of the week. Like if you see that line, you can see how many days we spent in a higher volume style environment than what we're experiencing here. So it doesn't mean that, this can't go up and create a new all time high. I mean, we saw us create a new all time high off of significantly low volume compared to a few months ago where, we had tremendous volume that supported a move to this all time high. So let's just, take it with a little bit of salt here, and let's dive into some other time frames that I want to talk about. So I always like to check in on the monthly time frame just to see how things are looking. Let me remove this Keltner channel so that it can actually fits this chart. So now we're looking pretty juicy. Forgive all my lines. I don't like to move my lines too often. I like to keep them stationary so I can just, go back and see how my analysis was. But here we can see on this chart something very interesting playing out. So as you can see, textbook, we're bullish, right? So this high here is higher than this high, right? Then we got this low here, higher than this low, right? So textbook of a bullish market is creating new higher highs and higher lows. So after this corrective move here from the previous all-time high, we came down, we established a low here. We bounced from that low, went up here, generated this all-time high, and now we're coming down to test for a higher low, and then we'll see if we can go off and continue this bull market. So to me, this is textbook bullish on the monthly time frame. I do want to call out, if we look at, some fractal plays, taking a look at the history, see if it can become, give us a little bit of signs for what the future could hold. We had 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle in the red before we saw a green candle, which was the 4th month, right? So in this quarter, it was a sell-off correction time. And then the next quarter, began a nice setup for Q2 and Q3 to, really take a rip to the upside. So, well, this is really Q3 and Q4, excuse me. This was Q1 and then that was Q2. But if you see here, you got 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle, 4th candle, green, 5th candle closed above the 4th candle. If we go over here and take a look at counting candles the same way, candle 1, 2, 3, this is 4. 4 right here is, we're hoping, has similar play out to that candle 4. We don't need to have this long wick or, a long wick to the upside. We're just really looking for some kind of synergy here, especially supporting the notion that we're getting supported on a upwards support line. So hopefully we're looking for, the 5th candle to come in, the 5th month of this move to come in anywhere around 50 to, 53,000, I would say. And then we'll probably have a nice little correction month 6 just to, shake a little feathers. And then month 7, we should, push up to a new all-time high. So that will give us 5, 6, 7, looking at May time frame for that green candle to come in, and then, correction over June, July, and then August, and then, gear up, starting in September and try to, keep pushing. Or we could just, shoot straight up or shoot straight down, But I like this higher time frame just to check my bias and, keep myself realizing that, this is still a macro macro bull market, excuse me, and that we're just in a corrective phase here. Now, we can say that we're going to go into a bear market if we go back and take out this low by making a close below 33,500 on the monthly. So we got some work to get down there. Currently, we're at 44,000. But as we've seen in, candles like this, those things can happen quick, right? So let's just make sure that we stay ready for whichever way this market breaks. For some potential targets to the upside, if we do break out of this, we're looking at some juicy targets here, ladies and gentlemen. I really like to, when it comes down to navigating price discovery, especially in bull markets such as Bitcoin, it really likes to hug the 618 and 1.618, so that golden Fibonacci level when it comes to topping areas. So you can see our first top based off of the Fibonacci extension of this entire move over the last 3 years. You can see that we came in a hair under that 618 with the first push. Actually, touched that 618, got rejected from it, came down here and got support, and then pushed back up to test it again, 618, and then rejection. Now the next question is this going to be considered a double top pattern here, where we tried to break above twice and we got initially rejected, or are we going to go up here and make a third drive? And what concerns me is if on the third drive we don't break through and rip to a new all-time high and consolidate above that 618 level, and then turn that into the new floor of the bull market, the next bull market, then I think, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see Bitcoin take that trip to regions we haven't seen in about 2 years, which could be anywhere between, I would say, 21,000, because I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to go and retest this level at $19,940. Like, Bitcoin in its history has never went back and retested a previous all-time high after it's achieved a new one, especially when you achieve two new ones in this bull cycle compared to this previous bull cycle before the epic run to 20,000. We didn't even make it back up for a retest of the previous all-time high on that second move. But I've never seen Bitcoin come back down and retest these levels. We might get into some uncomfortable areas for those that really started buying in this range of 40,000 to 50,000, which a lot of buyers have started to step in and get their first Bitcoins around that time when we've been talking about getting Bitcoins for a long time now, way back in the accumulation phase now, aka bear market. But that's neither here nor there. If it comes down and fights around this 22 to 28,000, that wouldn't surprise me. Actually, that would actually be a healthy correction in my opinion before creating a new floor to go up and hit these other targets. We got targets of 87,000. We're looking at 124,000, 184,000 per Bitcoin, give or take a couple of, $100 to a couple of $1,000 or whatever. There's a lot of upside that's still left in Bitcoin. But the thing is that's concerning, it's concerning, but it's also not a terrible sign that we're, still on low volume here throughout this entire accumulation phase. I mean, it could be we could have easily had, big red candles like this one come in and, dump the price really hard, but we hadn't had that in this cycle yet. And so, I think that this is probably more of an accumulation zone. A multi-month could turn into maybe a multi-year accumulation zone. And then we could probably start breaking out and achieving new targets up here. But this looks like a gigantic bull flag to me. I know I was never the best scribbler person, but you can see the bull flag right there, and then, we can easily rip off to the upside from there. But super excited to see how this all plays out. I mean, the DMI, we're looking pretty interesting on the DMI. I mean, we're seeing a lot of this bearish momentum on this indicator step in. Bullish momentum is dying off. The strength of the trend is also slowly fading. So what I'm interested here is, will this blue come down and cross with the orange, and then we really go into a full-on bear market and kind of test these regions, or is the blue bullish momentum gonna reject that bearish control and then bounce and take us to a new all-time high. So I'd be interested to see how that is on a greater time scale and play out. I mean, take a look over here in history. We've had this blue cycle come down and then reject and then shoot up. Same thing here. It almost crossed in that COVID capitulation, bounced and then went up from there. And then we had a nice big pop, right? This was when Tesla was getting in, all types of institutional money left and right, that huge Bitcoin euphoria market. That's, this whole blue area. And you can see during that time, we also had the momentum carry into the, bullish indicator. And so now we're in a pretty calm phase here, looking for volatility to kick up probably, in the next month, 2 months. I don't think that it's going to be just a straight big green candle that's going to take us up here. Now it's Bitcoin, so anything's possible. There's a lot of macroeconomic news that's coming out about different things in the world that could have a great impact on the cryptocurrency and traditional stock market. So I would be keeping an eye on that, see how those kind of things play out. Now let's go down into the daily time frame, see what we got here. So on the daily time frame, we had a slow ascent here. We retested 38,200 over the course of week and a half before doing a fake out and then a rip to the upside. And you can see that a lot of this movement is starting to lose momentum. And the DMI tells us this because you can see that this red line started to taper off here. So what's concerning me here is that, yes, we did get a cross here, of bullish momentum crossing the bearish momentum, but we're also starting to see this blue momentum curl down along with the directional movement momentum. What I'm interested to see here is, I see that the bearish momentum is starting to flatten off, right? It's pretty much a correction from this major spike here that dropped us from 40,000 down to 33,576. So this could all be a bearish reaction rally, and this could end up setting us up for a nice little trip down for deeper prices. If we do reject here and we can't break above this blue box, I do see that 30,000 would be back on the table for me. As you can see, this blue box has been a serious confluence for the past couple of months that we've been keeping an eye on here. It's giving us an interesting indicator here that if this price action begins to reject and go down, that we could be in for a wild ride with Bitcoin. But I do expect, and this is just a personal bias, I don't want to say that this is what the technicals are giving me, even though it looks good, that we'll see, at least another push to 50,000. That would seem fair out of this price action to get up there, whether it's just a wick up there and then, get rejected by this area and then continue the descent down. That would be a head and shoulders play there. That would be very concerning. That would also support, if we look at the monthly, we could seriously see, let's grab the head and shoulders tool. We could easily see something like this play out, and this would spell disaster for Bitcoin if it does play out. Not the perfect looking head and shoulders, but you get the drift. What happens if this thing catches a failed rally up here and then come back to this neckline? This neckline would really have to hold, right? But if it does hold, it could be great times ahead, because then this could easily become, let's see what pattern we'll get out of this. If it comes down to that net line, oh, look at that. A multi-month, multi-year bull flag. Get out of here, right? Get out of here. At that point in time, a breakout from what? Let's count it at $10,900 up to 69,000. So that's what 59,000. You place 59,000 at the point of expected breakout. Expected breakout. I would say if we broke out of this and retested it and shot off 50,000, that would put us at the $109,000 price target, right? So that's your $100,000 Bitcoin. But this is what has to play out, right? Until we break either this rising support or the sloping resistance, let's play it for what it is, right? This is just a continuation pattern that looks to be ready to break to the upside. So reason why I like to analyze Bitcoin is because it gives you a strong health of the market. I will start putting in more altcoin analysis primarily for my HiveMind trading tribe, but I'll start tossing up some Ethereum only, Solana only style technical analysis. But for smaller projects, you got to be a part of the community to request those types of charts to get analyzed. And our community is all about talking technical analysis. So definitely, if you're looking for a community to join to begin learning technical analysis, so that you have that awareness, so that it prevents panic, right? If you go into trading and investing, if you don't have a plan, your plan is to fail. If you don't have the education, you'll walk in the wilderness of ignorance, and you'll be one of those sad folks that are panic selling when you realize that it's just all a part of what's supposed to happen, right? So, continue to stay tapped in to our YouTube channel. I'll be posting up more updates more frequently now that I have more time. Pumped out a lot of courses, a lot of ebooks for my HiveMind Trading Tribe. We're also going to be releasing the Trader's Bible, or AKA manual, here in the next couple of weeks. I tend to like to do it at the, one major release per month. So, people will continue to get value each and every month that they continue our program. So, well, that's enough. Altar call is done for today. Sermon is done for today. I hope you all have a great rest of your week, and I'll be checking in with you all next time. Take care.